Hey, what's up, y'all? It's DJ EC3, and we're back for episode 156 of Keep Grinding the podcast. And I am back with my host,
Tony Donez here.
Sir, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. Another day.
Man, we just had a live conversation. Always love having this with you.
Yeah.
It's been a hell of a week. What's it up for a podcast? The keep grinding regular podcast. This is hip hop right here, man.
Yeah, we might have to do the Keep Grinding Real Life podcast one day.
We're gonna have to, man. Make sure you guys tune in though. Whatever we decide to do, Keep Grinding podcast on Instagram. Find us on Apple Music, Spotify. Keep Grinding the podcast. We're on episode 156, and we are dropping these exclusively. I'm not doing any more pauses. We are dropping these all week. We've been dropping the podcast. Shout out to my guy Cueto. It's been really good doing the job.
Doing the job,
really fun.
yeah. Doing the job's been fun, man. If you guys ever need a guest for that one, let me know.
I would like to have by episode 200 a three-man booth. I almost said something else again, but
man is all over the place.
Dude,
guys.
man. I need to stop with the pauses. The way I express myself sounds kind of weird. Shout out to Jake D, because we're talking about Jake D too. I used to get in trouble listening to this, man.
Oh shit.
Real fast, y'all. Taco Tuesday. You guys should be able to hear this by the time it gets out. Taco Tuesday. Come check it out. DJ EC3 flashback. July flashbacks at Casa Tabet. Oh, man, he's going to kill me. Taberas? There you go. My Spanish is horrible, but I know it's on, I believe it's 3900 Gosford Road. Check it out. I'll drop the flyer just in case I'm wrong. Should have had this up, but I'm really excited for my local residents. I hate saying little. That's downplaying the shit. Right. It's a big deal to me. Got a little residency now, bro.
You guys go check him out. This dude gets spears out on the dance floor, man. I've seen it all.
Pregnant women too, bro.
I've seen pregnant women get down to this man. So
I swear, man, when you know you're having a good night in the set is when the pregnant girls come out and they shake thing. It's like,
yes, sir.
But I want to present to you.
You see how they got there.
Oh yeah, man. I want to present to my guy Donez, the locker tag, Keep Grinding,
yes,
DJ
sir.
Easter shirt, X large.
I am official, you guys.
Got one for you, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you buying the Keep Grinding 101 drops.
Yes, the tie-dye, you guys.
I did it myself.
This man, he's a jack of all trades. This guy does it all.
I'm trying. I'm just trying to cut out the middleman, my guy.
I even saw how the sausage is made, man, and I saw him get yelled at behind the scenes for making a mess around this place.
Dude, I know I'm doing this.
The boss was not happy.
The boss is like, you cannot do this in the kitchen anymore.
No, guys, check them out. I'm looking at the stack right here, and yeah, man, the tie-dye, it's fun, it's cool, one of ones, you know.
Yeah, it's something we do every summer, but I always do it black. But I said, well, you know what? Let me try white. And I remember
the whites came out good, man.
Dude, Izzy and Kylie used to always tell me, why are you getting black for? And I always said, why not? I thought they could make these shirts into that. Like, no, dude, you need white shirts to put the tie-dye on. And I never understood it. And then TikTok is just a crazy place. You can learn about everything. Just trying to keep, just the brand here, keep grinding, and just trying to keep it, on the up and up. And we need to keep the content going, bro. You know how it is. Content's king over here.
And he takes care of me because I'm his best plus-size model, so,
We got to do that, too. And, if you want to plug in your hats, they're coming in soon for everybody who ordered the hats.
Any day. We're hoping tomorrow. They were supposed to be here Friday. UPS got delayed with some weather issues, I heard, so we're hoping tomorrow. But if you purchase the Bobby D Brooklyn Dodgers hat, they're on their way, man, landing any day. As soon as they get here, we're going to hop out, do a little photo sesh. Shout out to Rob, our guy Double R, who did a shirt for me specifically for the hat. So Double R took care of me. And, if you order those, they're going to be shipping out as soon as they get here, man. So you guys won't be waiting long.
And you know what? My guy Double R is a grinder as well.
Yeah.
Full of Soul Princess came out. He has his I almost said DTF machine. That does not sound okay. Okay. My guy just got his first printing machine. I don't even know if that's what
it's the direct to fabric.
Okay,
I think it might be DTF.
I hope so, because
DTG maybe direct to garment.
Oh, I hope so, because man, because he's a married man. He don't need no DTFs around. But seriously though, shout out to my guy Rob. Go with them to his prints. I know we got some work coming in that we're ready to drop, and once we get it presented the correct way, we're gonna do that. Shout out to all the homies doing it, man. Our circle is really we're on the up and up, and we're trying to. I think we're all blessed, humbled, and just trying to stay on top of our creativity. This is the way it is,
Yep. Yeah, definitely, man.
So D, besides what it is today, is we are on what's in the deck. So sir, what is in the deck today?
Today it's a classic, you guys. Dr. Dre's 2001 album. Man,
Man,
oh,
I can't. It I the music. We gotta talk about the music videos. We gotta talk about the track list. We gotta talk about just everybody says the culture, right? Everybody
right,
talks about the
right.
culture, but this is, if you listen to this album, this is the culture. This
Yes.
is
Yes.
really the foundation of sound for the West Coast.
This is the epitome of West Coast hip hop. Like,
Man.
you take the first Chronic album, and that was laid the foundation. And then I'm sure we'll talk about it as we go, but this just took everything and not, no pun intended, but took everything to the next level, next episode.
The next episode was definitely, and that's why I put the green on today. We got the green lights. Man, when this, can you, like I told you yesterday, I was so jealous that you were able to listen to this album as a adult. What was going on during this time when this album dropped, the hype around it, and this what you remember, what you experiencing?
So when this one dropped, I was living with a couple friends. We had a house, and I remember, I think we all called in sick to work on that Tuesday, and we just had a straight up listening party, dude. Like went and copped the album. They all knew I was gonna go buy the album first thing it opened. We did this for a couple, but this was definitely one of them. And just shut down the day, and dude, threw it on the big speakers out in the living room. May have indulged in a couple of things,
yeah,
and just chilled. I think we listened to it maybe like 3-4 times in a row, just over and over and over, and just picked up what we could. We're chilling, we're having a good time, we're laughing, we're bobbing our heads. I think by the time we finished, there was probably 10 people in the house just vibing. And, man, good times,
man,
good times. Good times with good friends, man.
I know. I think I actually told a fib on here because actually it wasn't. You did give me a copy of 2001 at a later time, but I remember my dad got me a censored version, and I hated it, bro, because I wanted to hear the real thing. That's when Fuck You was out, and I remember like the Up in Smoke tour came out, and we'll talk about that too. But my boy Ray, Laura, man, shout out to my guy. I haven't seen him in years. I hope everything's good with my guy. Ray dropped it off, man, and gave me the explicit copy. And it was I remember this is kind of what got my ear. When everybody says you have the ear, it's not just, you're listening, you're hearing things. You're listening beyond the beat and the vocals.
Yes.
The way this is recorded, no wonder when people say, Dre, his most recent stuff is not 2001 because this is everything is surgically done.
Yes.
Everything is in place. If you listen to this album, and you guys, I know you guys all have, but just listen to every sound, every voice, every element of
little piano things here and there. There's one, I forget what song it was I was listening to this morning before I came, and you hear like some congas in the back, and I'm like, damn.
Everything's surgical, man.
And it's not even through the whole song. It's like just one little piece, and you hear these congas in the back. I'm like, damn, Dre was just doing things on just a different level than everybody.
He was just, honestly, he was the Dr. Dre. He was surgical with this.
When you listen to it and you hear how detailed and, like you said, surgical it is, like, you realize why it takes so long for him to release an album. Like, he's a perfectionist, and so like he's not just releasing bullshit to release. Like, he's putting in a lot of work, and that's why a lot of people can't work with him because he requires so much of people who work with him, and he's got such a he's got such a foundation, but like a standard for what he wants to release that, fuck, man, he's putting in the work to do it.
And do you think, it's kind of just around the time around this, right?
Yep.
I know Eminem already dropped, and Aftermath is kind of this. It's becoming what we always knew it was going to become. This.
Right.
I don't know if it was, I could say bigger than Death Row, but like a Death Row 2.0.
Yeah.
He has Snoop back in the fold,
Yep.
Eminem back in the fold. Do you feel like this was kind of his way of, like he says in the music, hey, I do this shit. I started this shit, and let me show you what I've evolved my shit into. It's like he has something to prove.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in between this, if you guys don't know, he had done, he had left Death Row, and he had done the whole Firm thing, and he was dealing, been there, done that, and this whole kind of East Coast vibe, and everybody's like, and he says it, Dre fell off. Everybody's like, oh shit, Dre fell off because he wasn't doing the same thing. But the biggest thing that stood out to me in this was, he made a fucking classic with the Chronic, and then changed the entire formula.
The sampling,
the sampling, there was no soul samples, no funk samples. It was all straight up doctored up beats, and changed the entire formula and made it even better when people thought it couldn't get any better than Chronic. You know, so that was the coolest thing for me. Like, he's not afraid to take chances and evolve, but he's with those chances, there's going to be some work behind it. So
Definitely.
yeah, man, it's dope.
You know, we start off with Lolo.
Yep.
And the great man, and now you hear, I tend to forget. Yeah, Dre D was definitely around. These East Siders was.
Oh, yeah.
They were around that time,
Yeah.
and just hearing that, and the THQ intro,
Right.
like it sounded, like, you know, it's big when this.
And
when
then
this
you hear the
album comes in.
hydraulics. And
It's West Coast.
you know exactly what it is.
And
man.
again,
It's
this
all West Coast.
And if you listen to it, like it's like the first time. I'm sure if you try to put yourself in that time, they're really engulfed what this culture was of West Coast hip hop and the real gangster shit that they were dropping and coming out with the Watcher.
Man.
Such a again, these beats are so simple, which I love. There's so many sounds in there, but it's not like convoluted where you can't understand what people are saying. It's simple, but it's so I can't even say, man. It's sonically crazy how these beats are. Just hearing Dre talk about, you know, his time in the game. It's like, man, I'm not a young man anymore, but I can still hang with the guys.
Yep. And that's when, you know, you hear the piano licks, you hear just a very, not stripped down, but like you said, a very basic beat, but it's so clean. Like Dre's basic beats are everybody else's complicated beats, if that makes sense.
No, definitely.
But the one thing that stood out for me, and as we go along, you know, obviously, you know, if you guys know, Dre didn't write his own stuff. You know, he had people writing for him, but you can hear the writers. To me, you can hear the writers in the flow. Rakim.
Oh yeah.
You hear when Snoop wrote his beat, you can hear that in the flow, and you can see that right here. You know, things just ain't the same for gangsters.
Who wrote this one?
I think it was Rakim. I think Rakim wrote this.
Okay. Let's see.
And I didn't look these up, but yeah, I just that's what I heard in my head. So, you know, and I know a bunch of different people wrote on this album.
And I think we gotta accept this. Like Michael didn't have his stuff written. Beyonce don't have her stuff written. Alicia doesn't have it listed. Dre's an artist, and we've always said like this whole and talk about this rapper. We'll talk about that later. But the whole rapper MC thing,
Right.
He's an artist.
Yeah,
he's a producer artist,
and he's never hid from the fact like I don't write my own stuff. Like, and if you listen to most of his albums, he's just providing the spotlight for other people to come on and do their thing. Like everything is always featuring people. You know, it was.
Definitely.
You know, you look at Chronic. Yeah, he did all the beats and he rapped on every song, but that was Snoop's album.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
That Dre was like, "Here, you go. This is your stepping stone. Go off."
This album too, man, is a stepping stone for everybody.
Man.
We're talking about the highlights, man. There's verses on here like. Man, some of these people we never heard from again. Some of these people we did kind of got. We got a glimpse of it after Dre, but this is again surgically perfect with the verses. Everybody has something to say. You hear Eminem and Nocturnal on the left and right, the way they panned it. And again, The Watch is a great intro track.
Yes.
Things ain't the same for gangsters. Times have changed. It's aging. Like
I'm always real big on like the first track. I'm like, it's got to be Ricky Henderson, man. You gotta have the legit leadoff hitter.
Yes, it does.
You know, and this one is definitely one.
And we had let's see here after that. Man, one of my favorites, and man, I'm so glad Jaden's not here today.
Shout out to the producer, but yeah, some of these are probably not age appropriate.
No, definitely not age appropriate. I can't believe we were listening to this shit back in the day, but
I was a grown man. I don't know about you.
Man, it was
age appropriate. For
it was
me,
definitely
for
not
you,
age appropriate for me because we have the next song, "Fuck You," featuring Devin the Dude and Snoop Dogg, and I know Devin dropped stuff before this. He was already a Houston legend.
I was a big Devin fan already.
And just to hear him on again, setting these guys up to succeed, and they brought it, dude. Like this.
You see right here in my notes, it just says Devin with a bunch of exclamation points. Like that was, I remember, you know, and back then, like you didn't really know what was going to be on an album when it first came out. You know, you went and bought it, and you was like, okay, let's see what it is. So having already known about Devin, you know, I was a hip hop head, so I was always into stuff and knew who he was. But to hear that voice come on and be like, oh shit, he's with Dre, like that was just a whole nother level.
And it's funny how you know, and we've all could relate our past lives. The girl on the answering machine,
oh, yeah.
They love us, they love us and shit, you know. And dun, 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 dun,
Oh, man.
dun, 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 and this is again
the knocks on the
God, dude.
Dre just, like you said, some of it is very simple.
Yes.
You know, in the grand scheme of things, but just the way he connects all the dots is always just different.
Every sound has a place for a reason. You hear the dun, and then just he has like this violin in the background, and it's catchy. That's what I think. That's what this is what hip hop is a catchy tune, and you know. Dre comes out hitting. I just want to fuck bad bitches, and all the nights I never had bitches, and it just you can still play. And I've as a DJ after 10 o'clock in the proper setting. You can't do this at Thea's wedding, but I have had young couples be like, "Yo, play what you want. We trust you." And there is a point where you can't play fuck you, and people all three verses they want to listen to, and Dre comes, he's really talking about, again, and Hitman hit it. Like, he's placing and he's like, the way he sequenced this album, he's building up Hitman in a weird way, too, in this song. And
no, if you listen, and that was one thing I noticed when I was listening to it again, like, this was, like, supposed to be Hitman's coming out party. You can definitely tell, like, he's all over this album.
Yeah, for sure. And Devin, coming with the chorus, man. And, again, applying this to my formal life. No touching and rubbing. You got a husband who loves you. We don't touch him. We don't hug him. We don't kiss him. Such a crazy way to.
Yeah, right.
They laid the foundation for some player shit. That's just the way it is. Like that's the way we treated. That's the way that the game taught you. And it's crazy how the foundation of this and going back to like the Up in Smoke tour. Like, oh man, that was a horrible thing for me to watch at 10 years old.
It was a horrible thing for me at 21 to be watching. I don't know what the hell you were doing.
Man, that was a crazy time too. Just seeing this performed live. Devin kills it, man. Just
Devin's
the way.
Verse. That's why I was saying Devin's verse. I'd rather spend my morning digging through some records instead. Whew.
Oh my god.
Whew. Yeah, he finds a pocket and just starting to ride the beat, and damn, yeah.
You be working like a dancer, bitch. It's all on me. Not to give you all my time that you wanted. Like he's playing with the words and the shit too, man. And then we get Snoop's first appearance, and this is still Snoop too. Like he kind of he went to the No Limit phase, but he shows there is nothing like Snoop and
I said
Snoop and Dre.
No, it's prime Snoop. Like,
God.
This is peak Snoop as far as I'm concerned. Like this, yeah, we had Doggy Style. He's done a ton of stuff that is all great, but on this album, I think he's at a peak, man. That he may never touch again.
These guys are good. These guys were so hungry, and it's like it's so weird how to be that hungry. And I guess we kind of, dude. I think we want every podcast to be the best. Like I'm sure they just like, and we can't say we're doing the same shit, but we're recording stuff on wax. We came in here excited. We want to do this. Imagine how they felt like, sure, blowing a little dro, and they have the best producer in the world. Like, dude, I'm hungry. They hear they hear what's on these speakers, and Snoop came with this. And yo, I gotta come 24/7. Dre, Snoop, and Devin.
I almost heard like competition there because the way I looked at it too was like, okay, this is Hitman's kind of, this is his spotlight.
Yes.
But Snoop was like, man, I was there first. Like I did this a long time ago. Don't forget about me. And like he came with this verse, prime Snoop.
Speaking of competition, I always want to know Mailman's spot in this album because you see him in the back again when album aligners were the thing to watch, to read and look at. In the back of this album, you see two men back there. It's not just Dre; it's him and Mailman. And I always wondered what the hell was like. What instruments was he on? What was the sequence of? What was his involvement in sequencing this album? And
what role did he play?
It just reminds me of like that Buster song. There's one he did a song with Buster, man. I think it's maybe the bounce, but that kind of like that. It's the rhythm he has, and that's like, oh, that's a Mailman beat, and you hear that a lot on here. Yep. And man, it's the competition, like you said. Again, the sequencing of this album is crazy because right after this, we get probably the most legendary beat of all time, and that's not even you could put that up there with so many. No. And here comes Storch coming in with Still Diori. Oh my God, dude!
I mean, you still to this day you hear those pianos, and you know exactly what's coming, man. You know exactly what's on its way, and I think this might have been the first single, and this was like Snoop and Dre reunited. You know, there was post Death Row, like you said, there was the whole No Limit Snoop. Mm-hmm. Dre was doing his thing with the Firm and on the East Coast and setting up Aftermath, and this was like at the time people weren't even sure if they'd ever work together again. Mm-hmm. And they came out with this one, and man, just blew the fucking doors off, dude.
Do you remember when the first time you heard this?
I think the video dropped.
Damn, they did like that?
Yeah, because if I remember right, and damn near 50 years old, guys. The memory can be a little hazy, but if I remember right, the video dropped on MTV and BET and everything prior to the album coming out, and it was like, oh shit, they're back together, they're doing their thing, and man, yeah, it was just hearing them back together was always just. I remember it's a good feeling for hip hop right there.
And it just again just the simplicity of it, but that piano loop with the dum, dum, just the way the bass line and the it's just like that kick and the clap is such a. I think Dre really. How do I say this? With the I'm always you could tell a Dre be with the kick and the clap. Yep. The way he sonically and the way he makes that thing sound, you could hear it. And I'm sure that's why he made these damn headphones, right?
Right. Yeah.
Just the way that snare hits, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. Just with Dre again, and this is I'm sure we all know Hov wrote Ghost was the ghostwriter in this, and just hearing Dre on some Jay stuff is.
And I was listening to it, and I'm like, I could hear Jay rapping this.
Yeah, for sure.
I could hear him, this exact flow. I could hear him throwing that on an album. So, but yeah, this was the one, guys, that just, it gave you a little teaser for what was to come if the single before the album came out. But it was the video, and they're riding in the lowriders, and I think they're in the streets of LA, if I remember right. There's like the LA Bridge in the back, definitely. And it's just classic West Coast shit right there.
And then you see Dre kind of talking about, I still got it. Like I just signed Eminem. I still got beats. I still got the heat coming for you guys. And
that's the theme through the whole album. Like a lot of Dre's lyrics are, I still got this shit. Like don't think I didn't fall off. I know what I'm doing. I'm still the dude for this shit.
Man, again, that's a Hype Williams video.
If you guys don't know hip hop history, man, Hype Williams made all the bangers back in the days. He was the first one that came out and had like the fisheye lens. He did all these different looks, man, and that was the dude you went to for a video.
And it's like, again, the culture being represented.
You see them Dayton's and knockoffs right there.
And it's like how. This is just the perfect West Coast song, dude. Just Dre, again, just what he's saying in this song, and just
you watch the video, even like what they're wearing. Like Dre's in a straight up like all black Dickie suit, you know what I mean? And Snoop's got the jersey, and he's got the bandana tied around his neck, and
DOC in the back.
DOC in the back, guys. And if you don't know the role DOC played in this album, man, like he is. I don't even know how to equate it, man, but he is like the silent partner in the whole thing. Everything Dre did, DOC was right behind. Making sure lyrics were tight, making sure everything was good to go. DOC is like the unsung hero on most of Dre's stuff.
And it's crazy, like, when they were doing this is the first time this type of stuff has been done. So now we look back and like, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Everybody does this, right. But it's like this is one of the first times where you have a song at this magnitude with this type of video. It is kind of nothing but a G Thing 2.0 if you think about it. This is the lead. This is what. They decided this is how we're first going to come out. And it's perfect if you think about it, because
this could have been the opening song on the album, and nobody would have blinked an eye, dude.
No, definitely.
And it's funny because I'm looking, I'm like 1999. Like there's a legit shot that this album and this video and everything are older than most of the people listening to this podcast right now. You know what I mean? Which is wild to me because I was, I felt like I was entering my prime when this shit came out. But yeah.
And this is
classic.
This dropped November 16th, 1999, which is crazy. And it went on to sell, 7.8 million. I think it did 500,000 its first week, 6 times platinum. And again, you're so damn. Can't believe you got to listen to this as an adult, dude.
I was just turned 21, man. I was a couple months, 21 years old right here.
And it's Snoop again, man. We're gonna keep. I want to keep saying it. The way Snoop is placed on this fucking song. He doesn't have a verse. It just kind of ad libs a couple bridges, and he just adds that sprinkle. Whoever thought of that too, man.
Right, it's just an appearance. It's not even a feature. It's just an appearance, and that kind of whet the appetite. Like everybody's like, shit, like they're back together.
Yeah, that was definitely and he paid since Turn Off the Lights from the World Class Wrecking Crew, and he's he bigs up M, he bigs up his his past, and It's beautiful to see, man. Snoop is just on some gangster shit again, and it's beautiful, man. Yep. Next song on here, we have one of my favorites, Big Egos. Oh, my God. Again, Hitman on this album is set up to win. And there's verses on here, man, that are like you're memorable.
Right.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see.
So this song to me is the worst case of sequencing in the whole album, because you come off of Still Dre, and this beat is so clean, but right after Still Dre, it kind of is almost snoozy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
definitely.
it just, it's a dope beat, and I don't think it gets the love it deserves because it comes off right after Still Dre, and it's like you're coming off this high of this big song, and then you get to that, which is stripped down, like hard, sinister, probably like the darkest song on the whole album.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's coming after Still Dre, and it's like it's such a drastic change that I think it did it a disservice. But once again, Hitman's flow, like it's what could have been with that dude.
And we'll talk about forgot about Dre, the music video and all that stuff too. Hitman is, like I said, he's made to win for this, man.
Yes.
And the beat though, I love the beat. Catchy. It just man, we talk about the simplicity of this stuff. And Dre just comes out, man. I got
kind of harmonic loops in the back, and
definitely.
It's
I got more class than most of them, ran with the best of them, forgave the less of them, blazed at the rest of them. This stuff, man, again, I can't imagine hearing this for the first time. It's like, this is Dre on a whole nother level, too. He's that serious Dre, and he's kind of just telling, like, this is, from Easy E to DOC to DPG. Like, I started this shit, and I'm keep building this. It's beautiful, man. It's typical. It's the foundation of West Coast rap again. Like, this is one we hear this mimicked so many times after this.
One of my favorite things about this song too, and just for everybody to know, I hate skits. I hate skits and albums. I don't need it. Just rap for me. Like I don't need. And most of them, everybody always says, "Oh, it's to tell a story." Most of them don't tell any story. It's just dudes trying to be funny.
Yeah,
whatever.
definitely.
But the skit at the end of this, with "You Look Like AC Green," is always been one of the funniest parts of this fucking album.
Hell yeah.
And Feet Like Ben Vereen. If you don't know who Ben Vereen is, he was a tap dancer.
Yeah.
And he had just gotten hit by a car before that, and so his legs were broken and all fucked up. So you got feet like Ben Vereen. So dude, me and my brother used to laugh our asses off when we heard that. Fucking, "You Look Like AC Green" is just one of the meanest things you can say to a woman.
Yeah, man, and this whole thing has skits too. It connects. There is a cinematic thing that Dre was doing on this for sure. And like this is one of those things too, man, where I wish we could have the track playing.
Right.
Because we could talk about it, but it's still not doing a service. Big Eagles is just one of those special. To me, yes, it's after Still DRE, but even that hook, man, this is dedicated to those big egos. Like, it kind of it's beautiful, man. And this Hitman coming. I'm just looking at lines here, man. Like that shady bitch and that bitch that was claiming that rat-a-tat-tat. I don't sympathize for wackos and whippy guys. You gotta recognize Hitman's enterprise. Cali Pride, Bronson Rider, like these words. If we break down the words that this guy has too on this verse, there's a bunch. This is like the first start of the next generation that Dre was really gonna go with, And
it's funny because like the content of the music isn't like. It's not this mind blowing make you think. It's just straight gangster shit. It's for lack of a better term, it's just fucking ignorant ass rap.
Yeah,
but
100%.
But when you put it over these complex beats, when you can ride the pocket like these guys do, it's that quintessential rap that it doesn't have to say something. And it's just putting words together in such a rhythmic way that it's mind blowing shit.
And it's crazy how they kind of make you. It's a visualization. Like we always talk about the hip hop. It's about you visualizing it. And just the line that you have to kind of read it. I heard this line 20,000 times. Like snitch in the pen that get hit when the guards look the other way. We hitting hard, Hitman and Dre. You playing games that suggest you know the rules. And just the way we putting guns to fools, making you run your jewels. There's a lot of wordplay in here, man. Just
shout out to Run the Jewels. I just saw that Thursday night.
You're at Wu-Tang this man.
Yeah, that might be a whole nother podcast. That was hip hop at its finest.
What's in the deck is definitely a hip hop podcast. We could definitely do that more if we start. I know we talk about doubling up these pods,
right?
But I don't know. I think they are ready for that because I think we're coming with heat, bro. I think we're coming with heat. I was about to say if this was the Get Rich or Die Trying album, we could speaking of heat, next song on here, that's coming. We're gonna do that real soon.
That's coming.
Pause. There we go again. but we don't want to pause. Next song,
Oh.
man. I've always wondered how Dre got that kick and explosive. That
Man.
like, oh my god.
Explosive. First thing I said, iconic. Like everybody knows explosive. Everybody knows explosive. It's and man, me and my brother, and we weren't the only ones to say it, but you need a hit. Just grab Nate Dogg.
Oh my god.
Just grab Nate Dogg, throw him on the song. This was Nate Dogg, just classic Nate Dogg shit right here. Like this was, for me, this was his song to shine.
Yeah, for sure. And he's going back to that chronic roots too, because Corrupt's on here, and just West Coast shit. I can't say that word.
Right.
Overdoses, Imperial, Pistols, Ferocious, spitting. I always called him, and I'm not. I hope you understand what I'm saying. He is in some weird way the West Coast rock him.
Oh yeah,
I've always felt like the way he puts his words together. Always
like
loved
he
it.
he was the dude that was seen as the lyricist, and not surprisingly, like he was born on the East Coast. I think he was born like in Philly or something like that. So he grew up on that vibe, came out to the West Coast, but already had that East Coast influence. So he melded the two probably better than just about anybody. As far as like dudes who can rap in a pocket, I don't know if there's anybody on the West Coast better than Corrupt.
And at this point too, hungry.
Yes.
Hungry.
Man. I always, they used to talk about how Tupac would get the dudes from Outlaws and just like, you guys all write verses and whoever's his best is who's going to be on the track. I always felt like Corrupt was in that kind of battle every time he wrote a song for Dre, to be on a Dre album. Like everything was like hungry. I'm competing every time I rap.
And it's the stuff he's saying too kind of laid the foundation of what we, the game, you say you more bitch with bitch. You ain't hitting the switch. You ain't hitting bitches off with a grip, you punk bitch. Like, no, I don't pay for none of that. The stuff that these fools pay for, I get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's and you just laid the foundation for my past life. That's the way, the mentality, though, that mentality of just player shit, this is, and the hook too, man. Like, West Coast, always attracting girls that used to turn their back, causing me to yank them, impose them like they do them harm. Like, Hitman's on Hitman's on his shit, bro.
I wrote down, I was like, at almost 50, the content doesn't resonate with me the way it used to. It's almost like it's a little overdone to me at times, but the music's so damn dope that you can overlook it. And there's something for everybody when it comes to hip hop. That's one of my favorite things about hip hop. There's something for everybody, and if you want to learn something and you want something that's gonna, more conscious stuff like we talked about with B last week, you got that. Or if you want just some straight party shit that, you ain't even got to think about it, you just listen to it and just some fucking, ignorant ass shit, then you have something like this. And they're both beautiful in their own way. So it's really cool to have that. But yeah, I was listening to it and I was like, man, these dudes talk about their dicks a lot.
Yeah, they do. They know they do.
You know what I mean? But at 21 when I listened to this, I didn't care. It was it's how I was trying to live my own life.
Yeah,
like, I was wanting to be like that.
We were Smoky Bud and shit.
Yeah. Now at 50, I'm like, oh man, like
there's some stuff
I don't
like,
even
man,
hear all that shit all the time.
I was thinking too, like, man, could I have my nephew in here? We're talking about fuck you and
Right.
You breaking bitches off with a grip, you punk bitch, like,
Right.
And this raised me in a weird way, and when Nate comes in. That's
when Nate comes
all
in.
my dogs still kicking with me. All my down hoes still tricking with me. Like, how this is an old
seeds. You know what I mean? And the cool part is like I said, like there's I look at it like, currently, you have your Kendrick and Drake beef. Mm-hmm. Kendrick makes shit that you want to listen to learn something. That's Illmatic.
Mm-hmm.
Never that will I compare Dre and Drake.
Yeah.
Ever. But the way with this album, it's Drake just makes shit for fun.
Yeah,
he makes shit that you just want to listen to at a party or whatever. He's not trying to challenge you mentally, and that's what this album was of Dre's. Like, I'm gonna make banging ass beats with lyrics that while you may not enjoy the content, the way these dudes flow, it doesn't matter what they say.
Yeah,
like, it's gonna be dope shit.
And in the way they wrote, like all these guys were writing. Now we look at it a little bit more, I guess, in a different but this podcast is a different spotlight, right? What they're saying resonate with so many people, and people can relate to it. Like, now that I'm sober, you ain't that fine.
Right.
How many times we said that shit too? Like, we say that. I've said that shit so many times. Like, man, that Nate, as a man, I'm hit with the Nate dog.
Right.
Hey, man, I'm sober. You ain't what I thought you were last night when I was fucked up. Like, that's something that's again in my life. It's just been kind of like,
and at that time,
it's influential.
I was 21. Like, that was the important shit in my life. So it hit at the right time with a lot of people, man.
I got these freaky hoes clapping their hands, stomping their feet. Every now and then they put their mouth on me. 6'2". One of the guys, he's
a lot of coulda, shoulda, wouldas.
Oh my God, a lot of dude. He has these highlights. This album just highlights so many great. Like I told you, too, there's so many verses on here. If you just take it with try to do a fresh listen or try to attempt to have a fresh listen, even after it's so hard to have a fresh listen with these albums after you listen to them hundreds. Right. This is in my fucking playlist. I'm rolling, not even knowing. I'm listening to it, but it's like it's alive now. They're just embedded. It's
almost like one of those TV shows that you just throw it on and it's on in the background, but you know everything that's going on because you've seen it so much. Like that's how a lot of these hip hop albums are. Like I can just throw it on while I'm doing shit around the house, or throw it in my headphones while I'm outside cleaning the yard or whatever, and I don't have to listen to it intently to know exactly where we're at now and what's going on. So it's definitely one of those.
6'2" had one of the. This is probably one of the best verses on the album. Just. Just lines on here too, man. Like, I'm a hustler and a player. Nowadays it pays to be. Let me drop some shit on this bitch I used to know. She gave your boy the head and said, don't let nobody know. Like,
the way. Days, pimpery pays.
Oh, my God. I bet you didn't know she goes both ways. I ate a bitch free. I left those hoes at the bowl. I don't even got to look at this no more. Like, we just know these. Oh, my God. The cleverness of this shit, too. Right. Like, and this is all, I'm sure that we realize what the game is. It's all entertainment.
Right.
The way they're able to put these stories together in these words. It's beautiful. Man.
I always look at too, especially with hip hop. Like everybody's so like concerned with, they gotta be real. They gotta be real. I'm like, they're entertainers, guys. Mm-hmm. Like just because they said it on wax doesn't mean it actually happened. I'm like, I like Scarface. I've never assumed that Al Pacino was out there ripping dudes with chainsaws and doing all that shit. It's entertainment. So 100%. Like, I've always been kind of. Those dudes who are like, they don't live that life. Well, yeah, they're fucking millionaires at this point. Dude. Of course they don't live that life, but they're telling stories and they're entertaining. And so, like, for some reason, hip hop has to be real. Yeah. And I get it from a sort of, but I mean, sometimes they're just telling stories. They're just saying shit that they think people want to hear, which is fine. Like, that's entertainment, guys.
And then now we kind of see now what happens when you really live that life. Exactly. I didn't know there was a thing called RICO. Like, so you're talking about the shit you're doing and funding all this stuff with criminal money? Like, no, dude, that's racketeering. Like, so now we kind of see the game. No, they weren't doing all that shit because it's against the law. Yeah. Like, it's not really, and it's that smart to do that shit.
It's cool just to tell stories to entertain people. Like, that's their job.
And I think I heard this story, dude. I'm sure I'm almost 93% right on this
93 is a very specific number.
Yeah, very not because there could be. I'm 34. I heard this story a long time ago. I remember this interview with Dre, and he was kind of going outside he was Andre Young. He knew what he was doing wasn't really back when the compilation Aftermath album. Been there, done that, doing stuff with the East Coast Cats and the Firm, and I think I'm almost certain he's like his wife told him, "Hey, do you?" Yeah, and I know he's like, man, but I'm grown now. I'm past. I'm not doing the shit that we're talking. We're not doing the bitches and the splunts and going out and doing having. I'm tied down. I'm committed. And he's just like, do you?
Right.
And I remember I'm sure I'll find it somewhere on YouTube. But this is Dre. Kind of, I could do this. I'm gonna do it. And I'm sure. Again, I don't know his home life or shit, but just to hear that, like, do you from your wife's like, okay, I want to get this shit right here.
And also, guys, this is a business. Yeah. Like, he did the Firm stuff and he did the Aftermath stuff, and it probably didn't make him as much money as he had hoped. So he went back to his roots and made a shit ton of money. And so, on top of that, like, capitalistic nation, man. We're trying to make money. Like he's got mouths to feed and shit. Not that Dre was ever broke, but he's like, this didn't hit the way I wanted it to. I know I have this formula and I have this to fall back on. He went back to it and made classic album. So
and I think another thing we didn't even mention in the beginning. Imagine the pressure of trying to somehow go in the studio and say, yo, I want to try to do better than Nothing But a G Thing. I want to try to do better than Ain't No Fun. I want to try to do better than What's My Name. And then to do it without, he's like, I got to show that I have my own now. I don't need Death Row. Death Row's he's well known, so they kept all that shit. None of it's mine. I need to establish my own now. I need a foundation to show that I did that and I could do it again. And anything I've done twice, I could do it again, type of thing. And it's pretty crazy now that we think about it in a different way now.
And then the pressure of sophomore album. Like, you made a certified classic from your first album. You look at Nas, like Nas' second album, as good as it is, will never get the love it deserves because he made a hip-hop classic with his first one. Dre made a classic with his first solo album. Mm-hmm. And then, what was it, 6-7 years before the next one came out? Because he's like, all right, I have to match up to this. Like, I have to follow that up. And then to come out and do what he did, like,
and that was 99. Fucking, when did Compton come out?
Jeez, what was that? 10 years later?
And then fucking, they don't even consider that an album. Then Missionary comes out. Like, he went even longer in between. Right. And I love Compton. There's some songs that I fucking love. Yeah. And I love Missionary. There's some songs I fucking love, bro. But you still could have compressed those two albums and still not get this. And maybe that's okay, you know? Yeah. Maybe maybe that bar is just not eclipsable. Maybe this time of life is just not happening again.
It's like I tell my wife, like, you can leave, but I'm 2001. Like, you're not going to replace me. Like, you're going to get something okay, but you're not going to get me. I'm 2001, girl.
And it's like, no,
100%. I'm messing around. She's going to slap me. If she listens to this, she's going to slap me one day.
But dude, I'm surprised she hasn't slapped you for the tell your thieves to come watch this. Like, good Lord.
That's how I know she's not listening. Either that or she's so sick of my ass by this point.
She's like, man,
by the way, 14 years we just celebrated last week, man. 14 years.
Man, dude, I remember that Virus was in the hotel room. Never forget that one.
Virus, I wasn't going to bring it up, but I always call it Melissa Donez Appreciation Day because that woman deserves all the shout out she gets for dealing with my ass. Happy anniversary
to the Donez fan, man. I love it, bro. Let's go on to the next one, and the horns on this. Oh my God. Dum. What's the difference?
Yeah. The back to back with explosive, and what's the difference? Oh man, like
special,
iconic shit back to back. Like, most people can't get an iconic song once in their life. Yeah, and this motherfucker's putting them back to back on albums. Like, that's crazy.
And then again, the verses on here built. Here come now. We just had Corrupted Nate come in here with 6'2". Now we got. Let me show you what Exhibit and Eminem could do. The lineup he has, the feature wise, bro. This is a compilation album. There's no way around it. Like, it's
the same way that, you know, most Puff's albums were compilation albums. Like, these dudes are putting people on, and one, because they know these dudes have talent, but two, like, they're trying to build stars that they can work with down the road. Like, these guys knew what they were doing. They were great businessmen.
And they know too, like, this is the spotlight. So hopefully, you know, this is gonna be 6 times platinum and shit, right? Jesus. I mean, this is going to be the building block for you because you're going to be heard. Yep. It's a spotlight. Just like we're going to have our sponsors pretty soon. Your sponsor, hopefully get some sponsors because this is going to be where you're seen at.
Professional.
Oh, man, I can't wait, dude. We need some. Please sponsor us. We'll drop that later. I got the flyer out there.
Yeah, we'll take whoever. We'll take whoever.
There's some things I will not sponsor.
Oh?
I'm not. No oil. No baby oil. I don't know if anybody's making baby oil.
I don't know if Johnson & Johnson's listening to us.
I don't know if anybody has I love 2001, but no smoke products. Yeah. We have some stuff I just cannot.
We're responsible adults now. We're adults, man. We can't be out here.
Yeah, if it was 1999 and I was like 18 at the time, we're going to put backwoods. I want to put some pro clubs back here.
We have shockingly, we have a pretty good standing in the community we rock in. So we can't be out here just throwing everything
around.
Even
I feel bad he was saying fucking these corrupt lines. But,
oh yeah.
But you know, it's all, what's the difference between me and you? Great hook, and just again the way that this beat is manufactured, bro. I've always, again, as a rapper, right? Those horns always resonated with me, and it's so catchy, so simple though. But how do you do that?
Boom, boom. Mm-hmm. And to me, I said this is lyrically the best work on the entire album.
Okay.
As far as lyrics, to me, this is the best work on the entire album. I think this is Dre's best. Pretty sure M wrote this verse for him. So this is Dre's best. You get Eminem rocking on a beat. Like, this is Eminem hungry.
Yes,
hungry.
It was.
This is starving Eminem. We don't even know starving Eminem.
No, not at all.
Now we know a dude who can just take any kind of chances and do whatever.
Definitely.
But what really caught me was Dre really talking about how important the DOC was to all of this shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, if you don't, the DOC was gonna be that star. Like
Definitely.
the DOC was gonna be the dude that probably Snoop ended up becoming.
Mm-hmm.
Just amazing rapper, just flow, sound of his voice, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And got in a car accident, messed up his vocal cords, and was never the same again. And so Dre kept him on board. He did a lot of writing of Dre's lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
He worked with all these up and coming rappers that Dre worked with, man. So for him to shout him out in the song was really big for me.
It's kind of crazy how he kind of makes peace with the past. Like, you know, I'm back
Talked
when
about Easy.
Q was rolling with Lorenzo and the Benzo. I was banging with the gang instrumentals.
Yep.
Got the pencils. Got down to business. But sometimes the business at the end of the shit could turn your fist against you. Like paying homage to NWA and
Talking about his life, man, and probably had reached a point of his life where he was over all the beef and he was over all that shit. He just wanted to make dope ass music, and that's what he's doing here.
And people wanted to hear that at the
Yeah.
time too. They wanted to know
Yes.
where he was at with Snoop and Dre. Like he says on here too. People want to know who I'm cool with,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah, like him and Snoop were not working together. Like we always think of them in tandem, dude. Like
Yeah.
you rarely think of one without the other.
Yeah.
And they weren't rocking with each other for years. You know, at least not publicly.
Yeah,
Not, you know,
definitely.
not on wax. Not, you know, they weren't making music together. So to have them come back and it all be acknowledged, like,
Yeah.
it's like behind the scenes type shit.
no, that's
Breaking
what
the fourth wall.
there wasn't no social media back then either, where you could see
No.
and it's just like, and I know Dre has one now, but back in the day, it's like the Prince, Michael Jackson. You're glad these guys probably didn't have social media
Yep.
because you didn't want to see.
Yeah.
You wanted to keep that aura around
There was,
them.
yeah, they were mythical type dudes,
Definitely,
man. Like,
definitely.
You know, like you don't want to see Dr. Dre mowing his lawn, dude.
Yeah,
Like, you
no, I
know
don't
what I
wanna see
mean?
none
Like,
of
you don't
that.
want to see him being a regular person, even though he is, and he's absolutely afforded that part of his life.
Mm-hmm.
For us as fans and people who are intaking his music and being entertained by him, like you want to have that level of like, damn, he's this dude, you know?
Definitely. Exhibit the way he flowed on this, man, was beautiful as well. Just, I stayed with it while you penetrate, played with it, never knew about the next level till Dre did it. And he has these pockets where he raps
Yes.
over the pockets.
Yep.
Such a fucking art. This Hungry exhibit, this is before Restless.
Right. So
Oh, my
there's
God.
a whole generation that only knows Exhibit as the Pimp My Ride dude.
Yeah, wild, right?
Like he was at this time, like Exhibit was West Coast underground.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was Exhibit, that whole Liquid crew,
Mm-hmm.
the Far Eye, Loot Pack, all these dudes that were they were straight up like ciphers on the West Coast, not gangster shit. Like you know, and they were from like Ventura, and they were from like these outer parts of LA County, and they were just rhymers, dude. They were just out flowing. And Exhibit, like here we think of Exhibit, and we're like, yeah, he's just down with that whole Aftermath crew. But Exhibit was like the outsider who was the underground dude who came in and just ripped shit. Like his flows were crazy, and that's
Dude, his...
people think of Restless, dude. I go back to like Paparazzi.
Yeah, hell yeah, for sure.
You know, those albums
yeah.
where he was really underground. So to hear him over a Dre beat and hear how he took his own flow, flipped it onto something that was completely different than he was used to rapping on, the man is an underrated rapper. And because he's done so much shit outside of rap, people forget
about
the man
that,
can
yeah.
fucking rap. He just released an album like within the last month.
Yeah, and Kingmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the hardcores we listen to it no matter what.
of course.
But just hearing lines like I smashed the cribs like overhand right from Riddick, come and
Ooh.
get it shitted on villains by the villains. I be catching bitches, what bitches be catching feelings. Just the way
pocket.
there's a pocket, but then he kind of sets the bar. I was noticing that too. Exhibit in his prime, he sets the pocket and then raps over the pocket inside the pocket, and it's like he has that other tone. It's more aggressive, but it's still the enunciation, the way he's able to critique it, man.
Like he can be gruff and smooth at the same
Yeah,
time.
it's
It's
so
kind of
fucking
weird.
crazy.
And for those of you guys who don't know, like the pocket is like you catch part of the beat, and it's like maybe 4, 6, 8 bars where the whole thing just rhymes. It's you know, it's not just rhyme. It's like a flow within the flow. That
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but when you hear it and know it, man,
Yeah,
it's beautiful rap.
And again, just to the instrumental that Exhibit was on, he brought him out. Dre knew that this is his time to shine.
And for him to, you know, that's Dre at his best, like recognizing the talent in something that was really underground. And yeah, he had a presence in hip hop, but he wasn't Exhibit.
Yeah, definitely.
He was definitely an under the radar dude, but Dre saw that talent in him and threw him on the right beat and whew, made a star.
And it's mixed by him. It's recorded by him. I'm sure there was times too. Exhibit said this too, man. Motherfucker made me record it 500 times. You could tell with this album. It's so surgical. And when Eminem comes in, we get the Eminem part. His first appearance in this album. And what a verse too! Just kind of his older Dre, like I'm loyal to you, and it was cool to see that story too, man.
And like you said, you hear that hunger in his voice, like stop the beat a minute,
I got something to say, Dre.
And even the ad libs of Dre, he's like, what the fuck, like all that shit is so clean. Like the details in that were, just a little ad lib, like what the fuck.
If you don't want to
total difference in a song.
If you don't want to kill that Kim bitch, I'll show you where the ocean is. Well, that's cool, and I appreciate the offer.
Like, and they had that back and forth that we talked about with Run DMC. They had that back and forth within their own verse, and it's just maybe 4 bars. Of the whole verse.
That,
But it's so clean, man.
And then you hear Eminem too drop the sawed off and beat you with the piece that was sawed off. Fuck blood. He had his kind of his style, which was really before, and you hear, especially that early Eminem, he says outlandish shockwave shit. Like, shock value is the way he got his attention.
Yep.
And I feel like he kind of refined it as with Dre, kind of more of an MC. What's rhyme? But he still has those spotlights of shock value rhymes.
And he was a battle rapper.
Yeah, definitely.
A battle rapper's whole vibe is getting that reaction from the crowd. Whether it be shock, whether it be just, a line that's so off the wall or so fucking just devastating to your opponent that like you're trying to get that reaction. So he comes from that, he started out in that battle rap scene. So that's always going to be in his repertoire, man.
And it's one of those things too, like you realize this is just the beginning of what, and I think the Slim Shady LP just dropped, but Dre was taking this man to the next level, and that's exactly what we did. Real fast, we're going to get into Bar None, but we're going to take a quick break. So next up, we talked about, so much heat already on this album, and there's more to come. Bar One, our first skit, I guess you could say.
I skipped it.
You skipped it?
I always do.
Okay.
And that's fine. You can talk about it.
No, I skipped these two, but it's kind of just listening to it all the way through the last 4 or 5 days.
Right.
It's setting up Lightspeed, but everything's kind of like it's a movie. This is a cinematic movie, and what's crazy about the skits? The beats on there too.
No, the beats are hard.
Oh my god! How the fuck these skits have better beats than almost anything on these albums nowadays?
Yeah, most people's records do not have beats as good as these skits, and these are the throwaways. I mean, Dre probably was like, I don't want it.
Yeah,
use it for the skit.
No, and it's these. The beats on these skits are crazy, and it's just ladies being ladies in the club, and it's cool to hear. I did not know the bartender was Eddie Griffith, so that's pretty cool.
Right.
Something when I was coming up, I'm old, but over the last couple of years, just being a hip hop fan and just listening to this, I never cared for Lightspeed. It took me a while to kind of, now that I'm listening to it, that beat, man, was kind of what Dre, his whole sound too. How do I say it, man? This is kind of it's not a filler track. It's just the beat is supposed to carry the song. And it's weird because the song or the lyrics always have been carried. The lyrics have been carrying this album till then. I feel like this beat is like, yo, don't forget I'm a producer. This is what I could do. And man, let's see, was it Hitman? Let me see. Yeah,
it's Hitman.
Him and Hitman. This is a Him and Hitman song, bro. And
so
Dre had a decent verse on this. I felt like
I put in my notes. This is the worst song, the worst beat, and the closest thing to a skip on the album. and it's just I'm sure there's people who love it.
No, 100%.
But to me, for my taste and for what I think about the rest of the album, like we just said, like Dre's worst song can be somebody else's best song. Like that's how talented this dude is.
Definitely.
But for what this album had and what it was doing. Like wasn't for me. Like this is the closest thing to a skip for me.
And
to me, it kept this album from being almost perfect.
Really? Yeah. Oh man! But again, I can't. I'm just after the week. Listen, this is a whole different. I dived into a different this week. Yeah. No, I always skip Lightspeed, bro. I never had Lightspeed, but it is like a score of a movie, which I think he was aiming to do at one point. And
I understand the reason for the song, and I understand where it's at, but also in the sequencing. You get 2 complete bangers, complete classics. You go light speed, and then there's 2 more classics.
Yeah,
in between.
definitely.
It's like you had fucking like you had Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle, and then you had like Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, and then you threw my ass in the middle of the fucking hit between them. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
like
definitely.
okay, like it's it's cool. Like I was a decent hitter, but
You know what I always loved, and this is I love the I always enjoyed the Dre and Hitman verse, but no one ever talks about it. But I always remember Lightspeed, Blazing Chronic Through the Galaxy, Hydro, Doja, Chocolate, Thai Weed, or we might be sipping on gin or Hennessy. Fuck that, we're that new shit, the Chronic Iced Teas. Like, man, that's the shit. Like Miss Rock, where
yeah,
she's
Miss
at
Rock,
now?
yes, I mentioned that. Like she is a definite. She is a nice little breakup from all the dudes talking about their dicks.
Yeah,
you know what I
man,
mean?
for
Like,
sure.
and she comes in and she's got a crazy flow. Like, honestly, I don't remember who she was. I couldn't tell you what she looks like, and I couldn't tell you if she did anything after this album.
No, I don't think I never heard from
Never
her.
heard from her again, dude. But her flow, she jumped in with the boys and was like, "Come on, let's go." You know, and you got that same vibe in the first album from Lady of Rage.
Yeah, definitely,
You know?
definitely. Don't. We going to forget
Man.
about Dre, man. Another coming up, man. Eminem on the Hungry Eminem.
Yep.
Hungry Eminem. This is the beat is beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's almost damn near perfect. Sure is. This is probably one of the greatest songs in hip hop history, bro.
Yep. Dre's best verse.
Y'all know me, still same OG, but I still
I'm
low key hating on.
And I'm not sure who wrote this one for him. I'm like, anytime he's on with M, I assume M wrote his verse.
Mm-hmm.
But man, yeah,
Yeah.
because I've been in the lab with a pen and a pad trying to get this
Get the
damn
label
label
off.
off. Whew. Like that's shit that you would hear from an MC.
Planting the flag for
Yes.
Aftermath.
But you could hear that verse from an MC and be like, damn, he went off on it. But because it's Dre, people are like, oh yeah, it's cool. But like, that's a fucking bar.
No wheels and no keys, no boats, no snowmobiles, and no skis. Mad at me because I can finally afford to provide my family with groceries. Oh my God! Yeah, this is one of the best songs.
Eazy-E's, Ice Cubes and DOCs.
The Snoop Deal Double G's and the crew that man,
Fuck the
police.
police.
Gave you a tape full of dope beats to bump through the store through your hood, and when your album sales weren't doing too
The
good,
doctor they told you to come see.
man.
Whew.
No, this is a
Yeah.
this is
Dre's best verse.
I think Dre's one of Dre's best verses ever in his
Yes.
life.
Yes, absolutely.
Um,
And then I love the switch up in the flow.
yeah.
Eminem comes in and he switches his flow kind of mid flow and then goes
Mm-hmm.
back to it. Those are like the what they call it, lyrical gymnastics. And
Yeah,
shit. Like that's
definitely.
stuff that not everybody can do. They just don't have the dexterity in their voice and that ability to jump from flow to flow within one verse. Like it's wild, man. That
And
guy's
it's like this is the song. Like, hey, fuck you! You thought you forgot about my man's right here? What? Look what he's on now.
Right.
And before we get to the end verse, just the production, man.
Yes.
Just oh my God, dude! Just
Down,
every
down,
little
down.
every little thing, dude, is kind of like it matters. It's so surgically, it's put there for a reason, man.
Yeah.
It's like how can you not nod your head at this shit, dude?
And you hear people who worked on the album, and you've heard interviews years after years, and dudes doing podcasts or whatever, and they talk about how like Dre would obsess over like, do I pitch this at 70 or 71? Like just like the small little differences, but he'd spend hours trying to figure out which little difference was going to be better. And I mean, in the end, you got damn near perfection.
And Eminem's, so what do you say to someone you hate? And this,
But
again,
try
the
to break
ad libs
away.
on this shit too, dude,
Yep.
is beautiful. And just,
Study a tape of NWA. Like this is M at his finest too. Like this is like you said, Hungry M. Like this is, yeah, man.
and with the Walkman on, when I caught a guy, give me the awkward eye, struggling in the parking lot with a car candy. I don't give a fuck if it's dark or not. It's harder than me try to duck the park and dodge when I'm drunk as fuck.
And
Like,
then the beat changes when the cops came through. When the
oh
cops
my
came through. Yes.
yeah. And it's people who want to be rappers study this, I'm sure, so many
should.
times. You have to, because it's the way he switches it up and the way he kind of the subject matter, man. Like he laid the foundation for what the hell he's gonna do pretty soon. And I don't. At this time, did you think Eminem was gonna be as big as he is now?
No, I don't think anybody ever thought it was going to be
Okay.
that big. I mean, when he first came out, he was big, but and not in a disparaging way to him, but it was almost a gimmick because he was a white rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that was what got everybody's attention first.
Which is genius.
Which is genius, absolutely. And he knew it. Dre knew it. They're like, rather than ignore it, we're gonna acknowledge the elephant in the room, and we're actually gonna fucking use it as a vehicle to drive because they knew he had talent.
Yeah,
obviously.
for sure.
You know, there was people fighting over his contract. Like everybody wanted him. But Dre took it and marketed it in a way, and I think what was genius about the way they brought him out initially with Slim Shady was they didn't just let him go hard ass as a rapper. Like they made really commercial, viable shit.
My name is so commercial.
My name is exactly, and he's got one of those on damn near every album.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, but they're like, digest this, and then once we kind of get you in, then we're gonna hit you with all what was the lyrical miracle whip shit, and just let him go off, and then because he already had you hooked at that point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was beautiful as far as the marketing part of it, but yeah, I don't know if anybody ever thought he was gonna be what he is now. Like,
no,
maybe at least commercially, the biggest hip hop artist ever.
Ever. No, there's no one bigger than him, no matter what. And yeah, do I play him at the damn in the clubs? I have no DJ music for him. Maybe Shake That Ass with Akon or something, or Nate Dogg, or Smack That with Akon. But that's it, man.
Yeah.
Again, the third verse. People don't have these third verses anymore. It's different. Like he said the most important lines. I feel like too. Like, with the pen and the pad, try to get this damn label off. I ain't having that. This millennium of aftermath. It ain't gonna be nothing after that. So give me one more platinum plaque. Fuck rap, you can have it back. Like this, and you know what I remember too with the beat. I wanted to mention just the violins in the back. They just raised this beat to. This is the movie they're in, bro. And it's beautiful.
The violence and the highs and lows of the beat match the highs and lows of the verse. So it's all riding together, and man, just beautiful.
And
just
the whole
beautiful, like complexities that I'll never even understand, like how it went down, but you can hear it. You know,
I had on this thing too, man. Just hit, and there's how the hell does he get him sound so crisp? It's beautiful. Again, probably
he turned those knobs in a way that nobody else can, man.
And you can definitely put this as probably one of the best songs, or maybe can be the best song on this whole thing. And we all love probably the single that we still play to this day. It's my ringtone. The next episode.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I mean, you hear this at stadiums. You hear this at parties. You hear this in commercials. You hear this this is, while it may not be my, and I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it may not be my favorite song on the album, but it's the one that you hear most,
and
for good reason.
The sample he used, it's a rock. I forgot what the rock song was. It was a sample that I have it on my phone too. I listened to it, and then. The catchiness of this shit, bro. The bass lines of it, and this is every West Coast producer. I bet you tries to mimic this.
Oh yeah.
This is the song that it's a party anthem, bro.
Dre and Snoop back and forth.
Oh my God.
And then once again, man, put Nate on the song. It's gonna hit. And the funny part is as dope as this song is, the most memorable part is. The last line, 100%.
I remember the music video being one of those things like you gotta watch. Yep. Real fast too. So forgot about Dre. The music video at the end, coming in stomping. It's hit from Bronson in collaboration with Dre for Compton. People forget that Hitman was supposed that single was supposed to be the next one. It was all planned out. I have no idea what.
Man, you know how ESPN does 30 for 30s? I need somebody in hip hop to do these 30 for 30s on what happened, like why these things didn't pan out. What happened? Rakim signed with Aftermath. Like what happened?
Bishop Lamont signed Aftermath. Bishop Lamont,
all these dudes, Joel Ortiz, all these dudes who were just rhymers signed with Aftermath and never came out on there. And obviously there's reasons behind it. I just want to know what happened. How did this not work out? Rakim just rhyming a whole album over Dre beats is like.
But when he says too, I wasn't gonna rap about the shit you wanted me to rap about, my guy.
And it's true.
And maybe some guys are they don't give a damn about none of that. Some guys just don't care.
Yep.
But yeah, next episode, and then Corrupt just adds that sprinkle to it. Classic song. I'm sure everybody's heard this before. Nothing too lyrically crazy, but it's a party anthem. And man, again, we talk about Nate Dogg. Smoke weed every day. This is a weed. This is a weed album. Like people.
Oh yeah.
I think we need to mention that.
It's called the Chronic.
Yeah, it's the Chronic
2001. It's
definitely.
Dre was never hiding the themes of the album. I mean, shit. The first album was the Zigzag cover, bro.
Yeah.
It's
definitely.
He wasn't hiding nothing.
And it wasn't nothing. Nothing's. They weren't discovering some new lyrical content. This is we're smoking weed, we're in the club, we're having fun, but the beat again and just the delivery of this is it's beautiful.
I'm all wrapped up in the chords here, man. You guys trying to tie me
Bad,
up?
man. We're gonna wrap you up right now with.
Let's
Man,
get
if we had blunts, I'll wrap you up with some blunts. We're about to get high. One of my favorite songs on this album, man.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Oh, don't, please don't. But the next song we have, "Let's Get High," and it's all these hoes and somebody. Man, I play this still to this day at the club.
This is the party banger right here.
Yeah, bro.
This is the ain't no fun of this album.
And
you know what I mean?
And the bass line, oh man, that Dre slap and talking that, walking that, spinning that hose, smoking this, drinking that, getting that hose. Yeah. It's a day we're walking in the club with these guys, and it's awesome. The Hitman comes with a great fucking verse, dude.
Right.
The hook is always the hook, and just the crowd still sings it to this day, man.
I just took some ecstasy. You got Dre coming in, and my, the note I made was it's very simple lyrics, and then Corrupt jumps on. Oh my God. Just take shit to another level. That's what Corrupt does in damn near every song he's on. Like, even if it's not the most like intense subject matter.
Yeah.
His flow makes everything complex and just sound better.
If you walked in my living room today, you'll see some Stacey Adams on the floor because I'm looking real saucy. My gangsta ass Stacey's. Yes. Oh my God! And it's just to this day, man. I still bump this song, and I still go out there with Corrupt. The way this song is, man, it's manufactured for these guys. And Miss Rock, love what she does
switch up,
bro.
Man. The female switch up, because there's not a lot of it on this album. It's just a bunch of dudes talking about dude shit, and then she just jumps on and kills it with the flow. And
I can't say exactly what she says, but she has a couple lines here, man. Like, because there's just so many N-words on here. I can't say, but
we're not trying to get
God damn, man. She's flowing on this shit.
Yes.
And I'll have all y'all limp when I twist my shit. Yeah. Oh my God. Great West Coast anthem. Still play it to this day. Yes. Diaz go out there and. Man, I've had motherfuckers out there who light up. I haven't been at party. Dude, I've DJ parties. Motherfuckers light up and they want to get high.
Dude, I've been at concerts, in between acts, and they the DJ throws stuff on. Yeah. And if this shit comes on, the puffs and smoke.
The beat is such it's a funk beat too, man. And then just the way that
the bass line, you got that bass line groove.
Yeah, man, you have to groove to it. Like it's a fun. It's probably one of the funnest songs on this album for sure.
No, it's definitely the party joint.
BNs, we'll call it BNs.
Yes.
One of my favorite songs on here too, dude. And this is again Snoop coming out and showing that he's
talking shit.
Yeah, man. Snoop is
talking
just
shit. This is who I am. This is what I am. Mm-hmm. I'm still the best at this shit.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that beat too, man. Just a straight what we would know as a Dre beat. Yep. This is what it is, man. And
slowed it down after the party beat. Mm-hmm. Just kind of brought it back to let's reset. Because for the rest of the album, it's all street shit.
And it's like that guitar. Like, again, it's like a score, but then Snoop talking about bitches, like that, men who talk and just, and he says it too, like, I don't give a damn what none of these motherfuckers got to say about me. Like, this is what it is.
Yep.
I like
it's them bragging. It's just them talking their shit, saying this is, we're the best at this shit.
And smiling in my face, and they blast me in the back and stay strapped from way back, because payback make me want to pop that. Like, Snoop is on his stuff right here, too, man. And he's made so many albums now, but right here it's kind of like he's still got. I know he was competitive too. Like, I want to be the MC of this. I want people to talk about me like, yeah, this is what I do.
It is funny because you look at Snoop now, and Snoop is probably like the most palatable rapper ever. Like, grandmas know Snoop. Snoop does shit with Martha Stewart. Like, Snoop's on the Olympics. Like, all that shit. But people forget, like, this dude started out as a hard ass gangster rapper.
The voice that
the voice, it was all brand new. Like the flow, that tone, and everything. And he was always talking about gangster shit and talking about, like, I am this dude. And now, like, I'm cooking shows and stuff, which is fine. Like, the dude has expanded and just become a global entity. But his start, man, was grimy. And people forget that shit. And when you go back and listen to stuff from damn near 30 years ago, and you're like, oh, shit, yeah, these dudes were doing it.
and you know, now people game on what Six Deuce told me. Six Deuce has probably the hottest 6-8 bars ever in life.
Yep.
And these punk ass hoes looking for dough. You gotta watch your homeboy. You never know.
Right.
Laser Found, for me, it kind of made me feel like, it taught me like, dude, you can't trust everybody. And this little, and it's, are you influenced by hip hop? I was so influenced by hip hop in my life. The way my mentality was, it started from this album. And Hitman comes out too, comes out punching, man. Like, who is that the one that says, "Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? Yeah, you come on here, get your shit bust." Is that the one?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think that's the song, man. Maybe that's L.A.
Yeah, the next one.
But again, just Hitman coming in with 4 verses, dude. Oh, yeah. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff, man? Shit on here to get your shit buzzed. Plus, pistol whip, cover it up, using bitches blush. Mr. Powder Puff, your bark ain't, man. I know Chihuahua is like more rah-rah. Ha-ha. I left the laugh, Dre. Like, stuff like that. Like, it's deep in the album, but it's verse 4. You really were a fan. You listen to this shit. And, man, awesome.
And that's another thing. Like, you know, how many tracks are on this album? Like
21.
21 tracks. You know?
dude.
And you take away the 3-4 skits.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
And some of the skits were on the end of a track. So, man, like you get 21 records. That's, you know, nobody's doing that anymore. And if they do, it's gonna be, you know, 10 whack ones.
Yeah, no, in all 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Next we had the Car Bomb, which like we could go without, no big deal. Miss Rock and Hitman come back with Murder Inc.
Yes.
I love Murder Inc. because of the beat.
The Halloween.
Yeah, man, the way he flipped that shit, man.
Halloween beat. And Hitman changed up his voice a little bit.
When Dark News is closing in.
And the sinister kind of just to fit the beat, man. That was, to me, that was Hitman's kind of like the best example of him as I can do it. I can do it all.
That's what I was thinking too. Like he was on a couple again. I won't go back case by case, but he's on a lot of these songs doing choruses and doing great verses. His versatility shows on here, man. And you wonder what? Maybe this was it. Maybe this is kind of like we got the best out of you.
Yeah, maybe he never hit that high again, man. But like, he's on party beats. He's on gangster beats. You get him here on this real dark shit, and
he's telling a story.
He tells a story.
And like, this is anybody murderer.
Yep.
The fucking everybody murder.
Yeah.
Fuck around and get killed. Like
drops
that
his
stuff.
voice down.
Yeah,
man. That was cool to see, man.
And then Miss Rock has some. I love the way she says. This is motherfucker. The way she emphasizes the chorus too.
Right. I put in here. She's the highlight of the song.
Yeah,
like
man.
She is. This, after listening to this album again, I was like, damn, I needed a Miss Rock album. Didn't even know it.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? Like she should have had at least a little EP, a little 6 songs.
Last 2 shots to the dome, slide back to the pad, Jack when you off to his dick is soft. Like, whoa, like the way she was, and it's, I guess saying out loud sounds fucked up, but she was saying some crazy shit. Like she was storytelling. Miss Rock, where you at, Miss Rock?
Yes.
We gotta find her.
Get us on What's in the Deck. Be our first guest.
That'll be, man. One day we will. I know that it's gonna happen. We're gonna will it, dude. And the way she was kind of like, I'm a motherfucking murderer. Like the way she
they went gruff, they went hard, they went dark and deep, and it was good shit, man.
I loved it, bro.
You know, and especially for something this deep in the album that he's thrown so much shit at us, and now it's something completely different that fits still. Great work.
We have the next song, some L.A. Go ahead, talk about it. I'm gonna restart this thing. Go ahead, D.
This is the Cypher song right here. This is the West Coast backpack. Let's get the Far Eye on here. Let's get, I think it was Exhibit on here. You got MC Ren. An MC Ren appearance who has always been one of the harder rappers for me, like that ever did this shit. So, this was just that backpack Cypher. Let's go do this shit. And then the one note I made, man, and I feel bad, and no offense, Cocaine, but Cocaine should never appear on the same album as Nate Dogg, because he just makes him seem like the Timu version of Nate Dogg, and that's an injustice to Cocaine, who actually is a talented dude. But you throw him on anything that Nate Dogg is around, and it's not the same shit. So, but yeah, just to see these dudes. And Defari, if you don't know Defari, man, that dude is a straight up backpack underground rapper from the West Coast that just kills shit. He's had some albums that really slept on, and shout out to Defari.
And this is kind of like MC Ren's only appearance on some Dre material after NWA. I feel like I've never heard MC Ren on anything before that.
What'd you say after what?
Oh, they did Hello.
They did Hello.
Yeah, they did Hello.
Yeah,
My bad. Yeah, they did Hello. I guess on the Dre album then. How about that?
Yes.
MC Ren didn't make a lot of appearances from then till now. But yeah, again, the beat, super simple, but you could tell this is the cipher. This is the one. Just go in and rap your shit. Again, man, I don't know where the fuck happened to Time Bomb.
Yes.
But in my younger days, I used to sport a rag backpack full of cans, plus a fofo mag G'd up from the feet up, blued up from the shoe up, how I grew up. Like, the vision, one of the best things I've ever.
This song I envision, like,
for my life,
while one dude's in the booth, there's dudes just scribbling on a notepad, like, I need to step my shit up.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, everyone just gets better and better as you go.
In Ditching My Class, just to fuck your school up. I remember the first time I heard this, and it was mind-blowing, dude. Again, we hear it now. We've heard it millions of times because this is just what rapping is now, right? But just to hear it for the first time back then, and then we have King T. I'm coming straight out of Compton with a loose cannon. Smoke big green called Bruce Banner. Like,
King T has one of those voices,
so distinctive, bro.
Such a West Coast icon that most people may not have even heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And he was almost that connection too between that Aftermath vibe, that gangster vibe, and that West Coast underground, the licks. Because I mean, he was doing songs with the Alcoholics. He was down with the Far Eye and all those the Loot Pack dudes, and he was that kind of conduit between the two. But King T's voice was always one of those. Just real deep, you know.
Yeah, dude.
It just came with a different sound, man. But
very distinctive, very distinctive. And let's see, what's 24 plus 16? 40, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's gonna have to be our next point. I think that's gonna be our stop point because our memory card's filling up. Okay. Just for the record, I'm not gonna lie, we're doing everything.
Behind the scenes. You see him behind the scenes.
Shout out to On the Fly. We do everything on the fly. We have some notes, but we're kind of just going off the passion. I hope you guys see that. Just to hear him say too, though, picture this, drop Dr. Dre twisting with the licks and Hitman about to fix, don't trip, it's a time bomb in this bitch. He's paying ode to everybody he's in the studio with. So simple, but the way he flipped it.
In like 2 bars.
Yeah, dude, flipped it. Hitman comes with Exhibit. It's cool to see the back and forth there.
Yep. Just hip hop.
Yeah, man.
This is just hip hop. This is the best example of just true hip hop on this album.
And I was raised in the hood, called What the Diff, where the buzz in the hood refused to go Hollywood slugs for the fuck of it. And, you know, anyone touching mine, you catch a flight line, dead the floor, better than yours, drive away, getting your head from a whore. That's what I'm talking about. Right. The way he said that line, Exhibit knew, like, this is the time right here, baby.
And you guys can tell that this is like one of Ernie's favorite albums because he's just sitting here rapping the whole thing to my ear.
Sorry, bro.
No, that's good, man. That's the excitement.
This is my baby, dude.
This is the excitement that it brings, though, man. Like that's what this is about, dude. Like when it gives you that vibe where you're excited just to talk about it.
Yeah, dude.
That's real shit.
And then you see in the corner, right, that little cup. Like you know too. I got the 2001 poster. Remember this album was still to this day, man. It's like fuck. It makes you. At least a kid like me, man, like, how you know, when I smoked a little marijuana, this was like, dude, this was the shit. This was the thing to do. Listen to 2001.
I would never.
And this is what it was, man. I'm like, and then I'm glad, like, Raising Hell.
I was in Dare when I grew up.
Oh, were you? I bet.
Yeah, we had to be. So.
It's just like what Raising Hell was to you.
Yes. No, absolutely.
This 2001. It's good that, like, we're gonna have albums that I was like, fuck, this is my everything. We're gonna have fuck, this is your everything. We're gonna have albums like B.
And these are, and that's when it separates shit from like being a good album, a classic album, to being like generational.
Yeah, man. No, definitely.
Raising Hell put hip hop on a different spectrum where it was recognized nationally. Mm-hmm. You know, 2001 took West Coast hip hop and it was already big and then put it on a whole different level and took it to a different spectrum and introduced it to a whole different set of people with a different sound and introduced underground shit to the masses. And
most of these guys some of these guys will never. I bet people still listen to it. They don't even think about it. Just an artist on Dre's beats, right? And it's like. Yeah.
Like they're rapping along to Hitman and have no idea who Hitman is.
And Dre's not. There's another. I mean, I had notes on this too. I didn't bring them out. Another song without Dre. Dre didn't need to be on this stuff to make it a classic.
Because Dre knew that his shine was the beat.
Yeah, definitely. He manufactured it. You didn't like cocaine on the song? You didn't like cocaine on the song?
I like cocaine. No, I said I like cocaine.
The rapper cocaine.
Once again, dare. But no, like I like as an artist, I like cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is you can't put him anywhere near Nate Dogg.
Yeah,
it's not fair to him.
Definitely, definitely.
As putting anybody who's trying to sing hip hop hooks and stuff next to has that same sing song vibe next to Nate Dogg or anywhere on the same album with Nate Dogg is not fair.
I felt like this was kind of with cocaine, and he doesn't make a lot of appearances on this.
No, I think that's his only one in this album.
I think is it? I see him on. Yeah, you're right. With him, I think that was kind of like the launching pad to the last meal.
Right.
Because if you played the last meal after this album, it's kind of like that. They try to do that again.
No, yeah,
but just different. It was the last one was a little different.
It was like he was becoming that replacement for Nate Dogg, and I don't know if there was something going on or if they were having a hard time getting him on stuff. But he was like, okay, we have this alternate to Nate Dogg. I'm just a big Nate Dogg stan, so
definitely.
I just if you have somebody trying to do what he does, it's not him to me.
I don't think we could pause for porno. You could just imagine how much trouble I got in when my mom heard this shit. This and the Ken Kenneth skits got me in fucking trouble. I probably could have got away with listening to gangster rap if it wasn't for these damn skits.
So as the old man in the boat here, my note for pause for porno just straight up says unnecessary. Like it had nothing to do with it. I get it, like it was the lead into Housewife, but it was like a straight porn scene on the album that I didn't need it all. But I'm an old, not even old. I don't need skits and songs.
Yeah, I don't.
So even when the skit is unnecessary and like clearly unnecessary, it's even worse for me. So
I didn't need that either. It was kind of it sounded for me. I'm like, damn, why am I listening to this shit like a fucking perv? Right. Housewife, which I'm kind of I love this song, but it was a Corrupt song first.
Yes.
And I've known that forever. I wonder how they worked that out. Like, you do this, maybe, hey, my guy, I'm not sure he charged, but you keep this. I want to give you this shit.
Some quid pro quo going on with this
for
song
sure,
because
man.
it was. I always found it strange that it was on both albums.
Yeah, me too. Me too, for sure.
But it's a dope ass beat.
Oh yeah. Another
the bass line,
See, and that's why I think Hitman, that little bounce that's in that's because it reminds you some of the bounce with Busta Rhymes that's produced by Mailman.
Yep.
I think that's Mailman's thing. This added the bounce to this whole album. Probably it is produced by him and Dre. But balance is kind of. It's very it's frequent all this album for sure.
And so I know there's different songs. There's songs that let Hitman shine. There's songs that let Snoop shine. This is Corrupt's in this song in this album. This was let Corrupt go out and do his thing.
And Corrupt loves telling people how big his dick is. That motherfucker will let you know. This guy is fucking nonstop, bro. Now I don't know if he gets by this day and age, but
as a grown man, there is enough dick references to make me a little. And I am completely secure in my manhood, guys. But I don't need that many dick references.
Yeah, different times, man. Different times.
Definitely different times,
dude.
Different times. But you know what? I think we've talked about it too. Like. Even still, like I remember when Big Sean first came out, like all he did was talk about his dick, and I'm like, come on, man, like, and he can rap, but it's just when you're young, you get some, and you're out there doing your thing, like
And this is the phrase too that you can't make a whole housewife. I'm sure we told a couple of our friends that. Like, my guy, you trying to make her to a housewife and just she's for the street. This is like before She's for the Streets. This was the original She's for the Streets.
You say it to the wrong person, you get smacked up though.
No, for sure.
Just from personal experience.
100%.
Just so you know.
100%. And okay, I think we all heard it. Act Right, which I listened to the last week. It reminds me like this is Hitman's moment again.
Hitman's spotlight song.
Oh yeah.
What I put on here. Yep. And I've mentioned this a couple times. It's a so beat. For Dre.
Definitely.
Would probably be the highlight on other people's fucking careers. But it's a so beat for Dre. And that's okay. Like, not everything has to be, next episode. Not everything has to be classic. It's not filler. It's just a good song on a good album.
Do you consider this is what's funny about this? I'm sure this is just random people talking about the album. Do you feel like Hitman is to 2001 what Snoop Dogg was to the Chronic?
I think that's what it was. I think that was the intention. Yeah, I think that was completely.
Did he succeed? You think?
No, because he never did anything.
Yeah, never did anything after.
Snoop used that as a launching pad for a huge career, and Hitman was well known for that. But I even think like, do you know what Hitman looks like?
Can I tell you? Well, from 20 years ago, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? But like, if Hitman was was clearing the table at Denny's, would you know that was him?
Nah,
No.
man. And supposedly he's not even. He ain't no millionaire from what I hear. Maybe
I mean,
he's like he was working at fucking like
a lot of these dudes
warehouse
were
and shit like that.
a lot of these dudes were trying to get their foot in the game, and so they made bad business decisions, thinking
that's
it was
crazy,
going to be a
huh?
launching pad for stardom and wealth, and whatever happens, and it doesn't always work out that way, unfortunately.
But yeah, Hitman comes with he's doing his thing. Dude, love the flow on this song. Love his voice on it.
Yes.
Love the beat. Dun, 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 dun. Just the bass line, like those guitar riffs are really something. And it's not like a guitar like with Raising Hell.
Not
With
like
this
rock
is
guitars.
yeah,
It's the bass.
this
It's the bass
just-
guitar.
yeah.
It's the licks. It's and that it comes from that whole funk influence that Dre's always had. You hear it on a couple different songs, but and I said it for Housewife too. Like the bass line, that funk bass line is pretty standard in a lot of Dre's, like especially the slower tone, the slower beats that he does. That bass line is pretty standard for him. That's kind of where he jumps off from.
And we jump off into Bang Bang, which is one of those hidden tracks. I think one of my favorite Dre songs. I remember my cousins used to have a dance to this fucking thing. Like, man, shout out to my cousin Tammy and Cece. They used to have a song. We loved this shit back in the day. And
Tammy and Cece were out here thugging.
yeah, they really were, bro. They had a song with this Bang Bang, and
I said it's my personal sleeper on the album.
definitely think so. Huh?
That's my own personal sleeper of the album, man. I think the way everybody rides the beat is so unique but so dope, man. It's just, definitely my personal sleeper.
And this with Dre's, I think one of my favorite Dre verses too. Just what they're saying. He's kind of surviving LA, and people think that Dre still ain't got no heat.
Right.
I love. I'm surprised Nocturnal wasn't on this album even more, like more verses, just because you see what they did with The Wash.
Yep.
Nocturnal had his own soul. I could tell you, The Way I Am is a good album.
Yes. No, it is.
I was
very
really
slept on.
Yeah, I was really, really surprised he didn't get more shine on this. Maybe he could have been the launch pad because he did. There's some cool shit. He did some shit quick. Like,
Yeah.
it was
Oh
really,
no, he was. He was on was it Demiza had his compilation album that he did a couple songs on that was really cool. I think back then too, like success was measured strictly off of album sales.
Yeah, definitely.
And you kind of think about it now, like not everybody was going out and spending their $15 on an album.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many. Well, shit, how many copies I made of albums and dub tapes and gave them out to people. So stuff was getting around, just not everybody was buying it. And so like I don't think Nocturnal made some really cool shit, but I just don't think it gets a lot of love because it didn't sell 1 million records.
And again, I always say, you seen him lately? It's been fucking 25 years. Of course,
Right.
the age.
Yeah.
He's kept. Well, we all get old, but man, Nocturnal aged. Was against him.
Right.
But then such a I like Bad Intentions in my shit.
Yes. Yep.
I still play that. Still, man. Maybe I'm just that. I'm always come out Tuesday. I might play fucking Bad Intentions for you.
Look at that. Little
flashback.
Flashback.
Yeah.
Flashback plug.
Yeah, man.
Say
We
that
need that
5 times fast.
Right. I can say it 5 times fast. This is probably one of my favorite songs on here. Is the last one. Not a Dre production. Lord Finesse, who just dropped a video talking about this album. The Message. I love it. And it's Dre's. This is probably the most serious song on here. That's not
heartfelt and vulnerable is what I wrote down, man. Like it, and you don't get that a lot from a gangster rap album, and you might get the like all my homies are dead type song, but this is like my brother. And you know what I mean? Like,
and then the simplistic beat with the nice riff behind it, and then we have Mary J. Blige sounding like an angel,
the queen of hip hop. Like she's the female Nate Dogg. Like you want a hit, throw her on.
Yeah, man, it was.
I was just at the Wu-Tang concert, and when Meth comes out and does "You're All I Need," like Mary wasn't even there, but everybody was singing her verse. You know what I mean?
And she just says listen, listen, listen. It's not like, but it's like that church vibe. Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's really it's beautiful to hear that beat, that finesse cooked up. It's beautiful. Just Dre paying homage to his brother. And I remember when I was a kid, man. Just one of the things that always resonated with me was I miss you. Sometimes I wish I just died with you. And it's like, damn, that's how much he missed his brother. And like It's crazy, man.
The line that stuck out to me was, if that's the truth, then I'm realizing I ain't no gangster. Like,
it's just not me.
I just made a whole gangster album, but I'm realizing like, and that kind of goes back into that we're entertaining.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, I just did a whole album of gangster shit, but I'm telling you on the same album, like, I ain't no gangster. I'm just making shit that I know people want to hear. And that's true to who he is. You know, that's who he was, you know, at one point of his life probably. But, yeah, it's just, that's heartfelt, vulnerable shit, man. And to me, that's, you know, and I've told you this many times, like, when it can make me resonate a feeling other than I'm entertained, that to me is that's real hip hop to me. Like,
And
it gives me more than just I'm bobbing my head and I'm enjoying how the words rhyme.
Yeah.
It's giving me a feeling, man.
And maybe that's kind of what, you know, now he's a message to God and all that good stuff. Maybe that was the next level for Dre with the Compton and the missionary that we wanted to hear. Because if we have something like this, maybe we can't hit him over the head 12. But the albums don't need to be this long anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Dre gives me 9, 10 songs of something serious about. And I'm sure he's had some. Maybe he's a personal guy. He doesn't want to. He's a private guy. Doesn't want to tell his personal life. But if we see it done with many rappers. You give me 9, 10 albums about some life shit.
Right.
Just so as grown as men, we're not 60 years old, but he could still give us something from that point of 30 to 60 that we could resonate with.
I remember we were driving to a basketball game, listening to was Missionary, and people were talking about, oh, this isn't Dre, and I'm like, Dre's a fucking billionaire who's damn near 60 years old. Like, you really want him rapping about the same shit he was rapping about at 25?
That's what.
Like, it doesn't.
It's done.
It's done, but it also comes off like. Oh, gangsters aren't cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's not, like, it almost becomes sad. Like, I've heard, like, hardcore-ass gangster rappers who are now well into their 50s and 60s, and they're still trying to make that 22-year-old bang-bang, shoot-'em-up stuff. And it sounds bad. Sometimes I'm almost embarrassed for it.
Yeah.
But I get it. They're also catering to an audience. They're entertainers. It's just, for me personally, it's just not what I want out of an older dude. I want people who have lived life and tell me about that life.
And you see why 3K don't want to come back. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I've always felt like, dude, Detox doesn't need to be 21 albums, 21 songs. Maybe if we had 21 songs where you're going to probably not be on the majority of it because your beats are going to carry it because people want to hear the beats. I think Dre, people want to hear his production. And you know me.
You'll never hear an album of just Dre rapping over Dre beats.
And people don't know, dude, you know how long I waited for Detox. It was like one of the biggest letdowns of my life. I would tell them I was coming out this year. I would just fucking scam interviews.
I would tell him it was Bigfoot. It was a myth.
Damn near obsessive with it.
No, it was.
And we could go
between that and Tupac Still Alive.
Yeah, dude.
Like we had years and years of these conversations.
And it sounds like now the possibility of Pac being alive is more higher than Detox, and it's like
he was sending me like doctored photos of Tupac's in Cuba.
God damn,
it was wild.
I'm embarrassed of that.
It was a fun time.
I almost put Thug Life in my fucking.
It was a fun time.
But you see that, like, we've seen with Bishops, we've seen every artist that came through. Tito Lopez, who've had runs with Dre, like, you know, we haven't even went to the G Unit era of this podcast, but there's been points since then, this time in 1999, where we thought we were going to be able to get that next evolution. Right. But is there? Maybe this is the pinnacle of it, you know?
Maybe, and the next evolution is not what we're expecting either. It's what his evolution is, not ours. You know what I mean? Like, his evolution has got to be what it is for him. And like I said, his evolution is a billionaire businessman who's probably not going to be rapping about the same shit that he was rapping about on 2001. Definitely. He lives a totally different life now. So his raps now are going to be reflective of his experiences in life now.
Definitely.
You know? If I was a rapper, I definitely wouldn't be rapping about the same things right now at 47 than I was at 17.
You can't. And the message,
my life is different.
And the message is definitely one of those things. Royce the 5'9" wrote this. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Royce, right.
Who he turned out to be, it's pretty cool.
Right.
So, yeah.
Another thing, too, just real quick, when you're talking about it, it doesn't have to be 20 tracks or anything like that. But at the time, we were paying for this.
Yeah, man.
So like I wanted my money's worth. You know, if I paid the same amount for an album that had 10 songs that I did for an album that had 19 songs, I'm like, this motherfucker gypped me.
Yeah, definitely.
I got shorted. So
I
there was a
remember-
thing with money involved. Like you wanted a bang for your buck.
EPs were 9 songs back in the
Yep.
day. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. I
Yeah.
remember the transition from
Yeah.
this whole 9 thing. Real fast, man. We got a couple more minutes before this damn camera gone. What was the shot?
Smoking.
What was your? What's this go? What's your favorite songs on this album?
Favorite song is man, you know, having to pick. I think, you know, it's funny because I think it changes day to day. At the end of the day, I'm gonna say "Forgot About Dre."
Okay.
Yeah, the flow, the switch up, the Dre's best verse. I mean, you could go with X episode. What's the difference? Explosive is probably my favorite beat. Fuck you is probably my
Guilty pleasure.
Just because Devin is that dude, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with what did I say? Forgot About Dre.
I would go listen to the last few days a lot. Like I listened to all day of my if I had a photography gig the whole time listening to this album. It's explosive and it's some LA because even last night, Joe, cruising back from Marvin, I played those first 2 verses like 4 times. I'm like, man, I love this shit. Yeah. And the message,
yeah.
one of my favorite songs.
You've always talked about the message. Too.
Yeah,
that's been from day one. So that's always been your joint.
Yeah, that's always been like, it just took me at the time it was just different. Like, man, I need to hear that shit. Because I think my aunt passed away in 2000, dude. I was a young kid at that time, and that's kind of how I felt. You know, just being very emotional and very like not knowing what death was, and just having something dear to you that you just met too. Because we could go on the podcast who I just met and I just loved, and then they're taken away. Right. It really related to me at the time, and
and to have somebody that you kind of looked up to in Dr. Dre be vulnerable and made it seem okay. Like here was this dude talking about gangster shit and talking about a life that was reflective of where you were and the environment you were in at the time. And then him just being vulnerable and being like, man, this shit hurts.
And then much of I'm a big Dre fan, you know that. But when my dream is, I'm gonna make it happen, a Dr. Dre night where it's nothing but Dre songs, Dre produced songs. I'm gonna do a set like that. I've always told myself I want a fucking. I think I could rock that because man, there's so many Dre songs that people grow up, and there's that one Grits where he said quote is a Dre produced song,
and there was a remix of Grits with Little Brother. So my favorite like underground rap group with a Dre beat. Come on,
God, dude. And
I used to always call it Grills and say it was Girls Raised in Lamont because that's where Melissa was born. So I used to always Girls Raised in Lamont.
Oh yeah, that's man. And ladies, this is what you're gonna get with us, man. We're gonna talk about the stuff we love. Are we the most highly intelligent? I'm sure we forgot some big things in this album. I'm sure we did, but this is kind of what the amount of time we have, because we're not gonna. This isn't a 2-part pod. It's just one pod. We're gonna talk about the albums we love
And the thing too, guys, like we don't discuss any of this. Like I show up here, we sit down and we just go into it. Yeah, we have our little notes and stuff, and that's basically because there's things I want to make sure I get in. But like, I don't know where he's going with the conversation, so it's fun for me, man, because it's all off the cuff.
And it's fun for me too. It's
off the dome.
It's the best shit.
Fun shit, man.
Best shit
Always.
in the world, man. What's in the deck? I'm DJ EC3.
Tony Donez here, guys.
Next week we got College Dropout.
Oh,
Kanye West. Can't wait to talk about that one. And man.
Before he got crazy.
Yes. I can't wait to talk about that. This is episode 156. What's in the deck? Again, I'm DJ EC3.
Tony Donez right here, guys.
And we out.